Hey y'all, Shane Dahl here again. In today's coaching video, we're going to be continuing the series on uncovering hidden weight loss obstacles, and specifically addressing what activates the fat switches, the fat storing switches, okay? One of the primary triggers that keep your fat storage switches on is stress, okay? I'm going to come around here so we can make some notes on a whiteboard. Now, when I talk about stress, a lot of times when I'm talking with clients and I bring up the issue of stress, there's this misconception, there's this belief that, that stress, I'm just referring to mental and emotional stress. That's what we commonly think about, whether we got problems at work or, at home, or, something that's somebody's sick and you're just really worried and you get that internal stress. Now, the thing is, you have to understand that, your body doesn't know the difference between the two different types of stresses, which are obviously mental and emotional stress. And the second one is physiological stress. Now, I'm not going to have a lot of discussion on number one because that's pretty obvious, right? And, there are things that if you have a lot of mental and emotional stress, yes, it will have an impact on your ability to lose weight because it's going to activate these fat storing switches. But what do you do about that? Well, that's more of an issue where you work on, diffusing that and relaxation techniques and balancing your life. The hidden causes are stuck in number two, and that's what I want to get into some discussion on. This is the physiological stress. Now, I just want to go down through this list real quick so you can really get your head around and understand how many different areas this consists of, where you might have an issue and not even know it. But once again, the physiological stress is the same as psychological stress on the impact within your hormonal system, specifically the adrenals. Your body doesn't know the difference, and that's where we get into this stuff where it's like, I never knew I was stressed. Well, you didn't know where the stress was coming from, but you were stressed, okay? All right, so physiological stress, what could we be getting into? Not getting enough sleep, very, very common. If you're not able to recover and get adequate sleep, you're not able to regenerate the cells, you're not going to release growth hormone. Very, very common issue, not getting enough sleep is a stressor on the body, plain and simple. Excess stress is going to create an increase in the production of the hormone cortisol within your adrenal glands, and that's going to put you in a catabolic state. You're going to activate your fat storing switches, okay? Number two, digestive imbalances. And there again, this isn't necessarily something that you can't go to the bathroom. This is more of a situation where you're not able to fully assimilate nutrients because you have a disruption within the microflora within your digestive tract, your gastrointestinal tract, which we're supposed to have this healthy balance between good and bad bacteria. Well, processed refined foods, medications, a lot of sugar in your diet, there again, a lot of stress, physical, mental, emotional stress can cause disruptions within your digestive tract. That creates an imbalance. It creates a situation where we have fermenting, we can have yeast overgrowth. Bottom line, what happens is that you create a state of inflammation. Your body tries to attack that. It's stress, so your body's responding to the stress. So digestive imbalances, processed refined foods, that ties back into the digestive imbalances. Hormonal imbalances, this could be going across the board of the entire endocrine system. Remember, everything's connected, so whether it's with sex hormones, whether it's with a thyroid hormone, adrenal, an imbalance in general within the glandular tissue would create a hormonal imbalance, which can have a pyramid effect, or a domino effect, I should say, with setting that off. Prolonged, this is probably the most common right here, prolonged calorie restrictive diets. And this is just where, it's obviously that if you're going to try to lose weight by dieting, it's a dead-end road. Now, it doesn't mean that pulling back some calories for a short period of time doesn't work. Yes, it does, but what's the problem? The problem is when you stay on that. That's where we get into this yo-yo type dieting. When you try to cut calories for too long, your body is going to sense that there's not enough energy, incoming energy. It's going to down-regulate your metabolism to adjust, and that's where we get into this. It's this stress on your body. It's a famine. It's a primal response. It's a famine response. So number one, prolonged calorie restrictive diets are going to be activating your fat storing switches because you're going to be pumping out a ton of cortisol, okay? Overtraining, usually not a really common thing, but it is with athletes. Doing excessive exercise, not getting enough recovery. Medications, notorious, okay? But there again, we don't necessarily look at this. Now, not all medications, but excess medication, a lot of the steroidal type medications, whether it be, whatever it might be. A lot of antidepressant type medications. Once again, notorious. This can create an imbalance within the the regular endocrine system, regular balances. Okay, excessive toxins, alcohol and tobacco, common. Overstimulation of the adrenals was excess caffeine, drinking a lot of coffee. Okay, overstimulation. Over time, you're going to produce a lot of cortisol. And the last one is infection, parasitic, whether it's H. pylori, candida, mouth infections, things you might not even realize that are going on. There again, it's going to create a rise as a stressor in your body and create a rise in cortisol. So what all happens when we have these stressors? Just real quick run down through this. Obviously a reduction in metabolism. Why do the fat storing switches get activated? Reduction in metabolism. Why? Because you have a decreased production in T3, the thyroid hormone. Decrease in the hormone leptin. That's why you're always going to be hungrier more often. And you're not going to feel like you're satiated and satisfied. An increase in hormone ghrelin, that makes you feel hungry, okay? Increase in serotonin, decrease in growth hormone, decrease in insulin sensitivity, testosterone, DHEA. All right, so it creates a disruption within the hormonal balance within your body. Let's just simplify it with that, okay? And when you have that disruption, you're putting your body in a state where it's all about self-preservation and protection. That's why you're in the fat storing mode. If you want to get in the fat burning mode, we got to balance out the endocrine system, balance out the hormones, specifically the adrenals, and that's where stress is such a big role. So I'll be getting into more detail with this. If you do have excessive stress, we get into adrenal stress, adrenal fatigue, or the third stage of that was adrenal exhaustion. What can you do? What should you do? So that'll be down the line, but we'll continue to go through these the hidden obstacles that keep you from losing weight. If you got any questions, as always, shoot me an email. All right, talk to you soon. Thanks.